Banshee Head Display Base. Hey, what's up again everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, gundam.tk, and today it's time to take a look at an add-on if you buy the May issue of Hobby Japan 2013. I'm talking about the 1/48th scale head display base from the Unicorn Gundam No. 2 machine, better known as Banshee. March 2013 release, despite this being labeled as May, with the price for this month's issue being 1,200 yen. And since this isn't a regular retail release, that's where the good folks at HobbyLink Japan come in, where you can buy monthly magazines and all sorts of gunpla and so much more. Check them out with links down below. Now this isn't the first one in the series, as we've already got one for the Unicorn Gundam, which is going to come molded with white and some clear pink for the psycho frame on the inside, to go along with a Shinanju that's going to come across as all red, which means you're really going to have to jazz it up if you wanted to add on the black and the gold. And one of the pluses of buying it soon is that if you are to go buy it online now, you'll get the magazine with it, whereas after the fact, sometimes you'll just find these kicking around in used shops in Japan, but you're not going to be getting the manual, and though it's not all that hard here, you're just going to have a couple pages that's going to show you the two plates, but there are some pretty tricky little parts there that you're just going to want to be a little bit careful of. But with 2 pages, you know it's not going to be all that complex. But the other bonus is that you're going to be getting things like Nomo-ken, showing you how to get some red LEDs on the inside there, which would look very cool when you light up both the eyes and the camera lens up top, and especially with a paint job. This is looking pro. And for the box tour, it's pretty simple here with some cardboard construction. And they'll be focused on the fact that you can change it from Unicorn mode to Destroy mode down there, and they're saying why not go pick up the HGUC Banshee Norn, which is on sale now. So it's inside the box we go here, as when you crack this open and move out the cardboard that protects it, you're going to be getting the much more important plastic. Well, I'm just going to cheat and pull it out this way, inside. With the A plate here, along with the B plate being cool because it is going to say 1/48th Banshee head base here. So it looks to be like they're going to be doing things specific. You can see from the front of the chest down there, it's going to be unique. And some other cool details like the ability to put on the multitude of horns that it's going to be having there. But you can see some nice details carved in here from the sides of the face here, where you're going to be able to put in some more inner frame. And otherwise, all the dark pieces are as you'd expect them. But it's the B plate that's going to be even more exciting down here. Same label though, this is going to be for the Banshee head base. And you can see that it's going to have the 2 different faces here. So you've got the regular Gundam goatee down here, and it's also going to have the under eyes done up in this nice clear orange. And then you can take the dark face part and put it on top there. But this one, which would be yellow, is definitely something that you could paint up in a harder yellow or some actual gold down there. But then it's on to the actual nice details, like the blades. You're also going to have the all-important unicorn horns here, which are going to open up to go full-on Banshee. And you've also got this one, which is going to look good and stay stationary in the center, even when you spread out these cool-looking ones. So for first impressions, it's great to see the differences here that we're going to be getting custom-made for the Banshee there. The dark blue is going to be what we've been seeing on all the other kits, so nothing spectacular. You could always paint that up in some black if you wanted here. It is a little bit disappointing that they're not going to give you the 3 colors if you wanted to go with the yellow, but it's the kind of thing, again, that's always easy to paint, and if they had to choose here between yellow or the clear, personally I'm happier to have the clear there. I'm sure everybody will have their own opinion, would like to hear yours with the comments, but so far, things look like they're off to a flying 1/48th start. And when it's all put together, you're going to have the main parts of the base, the arm itself, and the all-important head display. For the parts from least exciting to most, well, what can you do here? You'll take this apart and you'll see that it's going to have gears, so you're going to be able to angle this at the appropriate angle to get your model whooshing through the air as you desire. With the base itself going to be a little bit disappointing, if only because it's not going to have the yellow that we become so familiar with for the next section here for the Banshee. But it is still cool that it's going to have some moving parts here. As you can rotate the neck, it's a little bit tight, but it'll still move. And you can move this forward and back. And there's just enough room under there if you wanted to go add some electronics. And for the head itself, it's going to be looking pretty cool here with some good details. Construction is going to be a lot of fun. A big piece here in the back and the old rotatable sides of the heads that we're so familiar with. since the days of the Master Grade here. This part here is going to slide forward and back. You've got some lining opportunities, but otherwise it's going to be recreating all of the Banshee's horns. And remember, he's got a lot here. 2 individual ones that you put on there. This nice front one here, which is going to be connected very well with the blue part there. The face mask, again, instead of being yellow, is going to be clear, but that's not a bad thing, as you do get to see little hints of red back there, which I'll talk about in a moment. And you are going to have the separate front horn here from this one up at the top, the 2 that are going to spread out. And when it's all put together here, I've got to say that it's going to look pretty sharp, especially if you have the opportunity to have it rotating around. But I've got to say that the clear parts are definitely going to stand out. Metallic gold or something like that definitely would, but compared to a plain yellow, this one just seems like a lot of fun. Really, the only one that's missing is that one there as I tap it back. And to see it in action here, as we've got Unicorn Mode and Unicorn Mode here in the form of the HGUC Banshee Norn with that snazzy backpack there, all sealed up. This one is going to go the opposite direction, as it's not going to have any seals whatsoever. But of course, you're going to notice the clear orange on the bottom compared to the yellow plastic that they're going to be including for the regular HGUC release. But for the transformation, you can detach this part here and pop off the sides of the head. And once you've done that, it's time to open up the bottom part here, and you can start to see how things are going to be working. You can move pretty much everything down here. Slide this whole section forward there, which is going to bring the face forward. Seal this up inside, close her up here, and then you can take the face parts and put them on the right way. And then with the cool CG graphics, you can open it all up. The only problem is you've got to go and reattach this part here, which isn't going to look so cool if it was actually animated. Now, as a fan of the Destroy mode myself, it's going to be displayed like this, I'm sure, all the time from here on in, and this one is looking pretty cool because you can see a lot of that Psycho frame there underneath. The goatee in the bottom of the face guard is going to look good, and if you take a look above, it's actually sort of hard to see, but he is going to have the orange part there. I'm talking about the clear orange under the eyes, and what I did with the eyes themselves is it's going to be nice and easy because they're separate parts. Some black Gundam marker and some red Gundam marker there. And depending on the light that you make it out at here, you can see that there's just going to be some raised red and some black. But to be honest, because you're going to have this brow, it's going to be coming so far down, even if you weren't to go and add any effort to this whatsoever, you're not really going to be seeing the eyes in the first place because all of the attention is going to be drawn up top, as it rightfully should, as this is looking pretty cool. Tony Chopper would be proud. Now here's something that doesn't happen too often, but it's head comparison time. As you can see that the SD over here is also going to have the Psycho frame there. It is going to have the goatee, and below the eyes on the seal you can see a little bit, but it's going to be a lot more prominent over here on the display base. The big difference is just going to be up on the top, where you've got the yellow compared to the clear orange and the prominent red eyes, but that's what SDs are known for. And one other thing worth noting is that this guy's going to be missing a camera lens up there, so if you had some red tape or something, metallic looking, you can go and cut your own, or just properly prime it and paint it red. And here he is next to the 1/48th mega size model Gundam Age 1. You can see that the heads are nicely proportionate there with each other. It's the kind of thing in terms of future speculation, whether we get a perfect grade or not, how nice would it be to at least get a 1/48th mega size model of these unicorn twins. And even though Bandai is going to be telling you to focus on high-grade Universal Centuries, the SD kit here with the hips is going to have a nice attachment point there, so you can get the SD up there in either mode, and he'll look pretty sharp, although you're really going to notice the differences there for the plastic for the horns. But this, I think, is going to be the display where you're getting your full money's worth, as you've got it in Destroy mode, HGUC up above. This is one that I went and painted, so it's not actually going to have any clear inner frame there. But nonetheless, even with the colors being different there, seeing the horns spread out, and all the weapons there with a cool dynamic pose and not having the same height difference that you would with the SD, this is the kind of display that I think it's going to stay like this on my shelf quite a while and quite proudly. So for some final thoughts, I've got to say that these magazine pack-ins from Bandai are doing better and better. When you look at things like the Age 1 Razor and the fact that they're giving you 2 colors, white and blue for that, and in this one, in the case of the Unicorn Gundam head, you're going to be getting white and red, and I've got to say that the color choices here were right. Just personally, I like the clear orange here. I think it's really going to stand out, and if you want to go and paint it up and not have your magazine fall down, you've always got the option of doing the yellow parts up in yellow and keeping the clear parts clear. but if it was going to be in yellow, you'd never have the option of going the other way back to clear. And when you throw in the fact that it's going to have some Vulcans on it that are going to be incredibly well sculpted and the kind of thing you could paint separately, the transformation's great and the arm on the back is going to be solid, and it's going to look fantastic under an HGUC in either form, which is exactly what this is all about. So compared to the all-red Shininju, full props here for the Banshee Head Display Base, and I think it's something that you'd quite enjoy, especially if you've got the right MS to put on top of it. Anyway, everybody, that's just my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours with a comment down below. What do you think of this? Magazine pack-ins in general? Anyway, everybody, stick around for lots more news, reviews, and everything else you can use. See ya! One day, Bandai. One day.